Welcome to the It Factor, where Jemmy and I exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML and MSP in Queens, NY, offering network management, VoIP and UCAS, cybersecurity, compliance, IaaS, cloud, and Microsoft 365 and Azure.
That's right.
If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you. Stay tuned.
Today we're taking a focused look, sort of a deep dive, into a guide from Len Kaplan of CDML. It's titled, Read This If Your Business Depends on Your Computers.
Which, let's be honest, is pretty much every business these days, right?
Exactly. Couldn't function without them.
And Kaplan really hits on something that I think gets pushed aside when you're just trying to run things day to day.
What's that?
The actual fundamental security and, reliability of your computer network. It's kind of invisible until, bang, something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. The classic out of sight, out of mind problem.
Precisely. So our goal here is to pull out the key insights from Kaplan's guide that can help you, the listener, the small business owner, make sure your IT is actually solid, help you avoid some potentially massive headaches down the road.
Yeah, and Kaplan's whole angle seems to be about empowerment. He wants business owners to have the knowledge to actually assess their IT support, not just trust blindly.
Okay, so where does he start? What's the setup?
Well, he kicks off with a bit of a wake-up call, based on his own experiences auditing networks.
Right, I saw that. He says he repeatedly finds things like, faulty or non-existent backups?
Uh-huh. Security loopholes, shoddy reporting, and flawed systems. Basically, the critical stuff is often broken or missing.
That sounds alarming.
It is. And he's not talking small glitches. These are fundamental weaknesses, like finding cracks in your building's foundation,
Yeah, not good. And then he mentions getting these emergency calls, these 911 crisis calls.
Right, about tech disasters that he strongly believes could have been prevented with proper management beforehand.
It really makes you pause and think, is my own setup okay? Am I potentially sitting on one of those ticking time bombs? Does that resonate maybe with worries you've had?
And that uncertainty is exactly the core problem Kaplan identifies. He thinks many businesses are paying for support, maybe decent money, but they don't actually know if their network is secure.
Because they lack the know-how to check?
Pretty much. They're hoping for the best, paying the bill, but they can't really verify the quality or the security level.
Okay, so that's a bit scary. How does he propose fixing that, giving owners the tools?
Exactly. He offers what he calls a mini acid test. It's a set of 18 key questions to ask your IT provider or potential provider.
Ah, okay. A practical checklist. Let's maybe dig into a few of those. Which ones really stand out?
Definitely. The first one is pretty direct. Do they answer their phones live and respond to support issues in 1 hour or less?
Seems basic, maybe, but I guess crucial if something blows up.
It's absolutely crucial. Think about it. If your server goes down or your team can't access critical files, every minute you're waiting is lost productivity. It's lost money. So that quick response isn't just convenience, it's about minimizing damage.
Okay, good point. Makes sense. What's another key question?
How about this one? Are they remotely monitoring your network 24/7, 365 to keep critical security settings, virus definitions, and security patches up to date?
Right, the proactive stuff. Monitoring sounds important. Explain virus definitions and patches quickly.
Sure. Think of virus definitions as the constantly updated list your antivirus uses to spot new threats. And patches are like software updates that fix newly discovered security holes or vulnerabilities in your systems.
So the monitoring makes sure you have the latest locks on your digital doors, basically.
Exactly. It's about preventing problems before they happen, which is always better and cheaper than cleaning up after a breach or an attack.
Makes total sense. Okay, next. There was one about backups that seemed really important.
Yes. Do they insist on monitoring an offsite as well as an on-site backup? Or are they letting you rely on outdated backup solutions like external hard drives or USB flash drives?
Okay, on-site and off-site. Why the insistence on both? Isn't one good enough?
Well, think about it. An on-site backup is great if a file gets deleted accidentally, but what if there's a fire, or a flood, or even theft?
The physical disaster scenario. Your on-site backup disappears with everything else.
Precisely. The off-site backup, stored somewhere else entirely, is your safety net for those worst-case scenarios. External drives and USBs. They're okay for quick transfers, maybe, but not a reliable automated strategy for business survival.
Got it. Robustness requires both layers. Okay, what else is on that list?
This one's interesting, maybe less obvious. Have they provided you with written network documentation detailing what software licenses you have, critical network passwords, and hardware information, or are they the only person with the keys to the kingdom?
Ooh, the keys to the kingdom. That sounds potentially problematic. Why is that documentation so vital?
It's about control and continuity. What happens if your IT person wins the lottery and disappears? Or you have a dispute?
You'd be locked out of your own systems,
Yeah.
unable to manage things or hire someone else easily.
Exactly. That documentation ensures you own the information about your network. It prevents vendor lock-in and keeps the business running smoothly no matter what happens with the IT provider.
Okay, that's a really crucial point for business owners.
Mm.
Let's go and grab a couple more quick ones. Transparency, communication.
Yep, covered too. Do they provide detailed invoices that clearly explain what you are paying for? And do they explain what they are doing and answer your questions in terms that you can understand, not geek speak?
Straightforward, but essential for trust, I imagine.
Absolutely. You need to know what you're paying for, and you
Right.
need to feel comfortable asking questions and actually understanding the answers. No baffling tech jargon.
Right. And maybe one or two more about accountability, planning ahead.
Good ones. Do they offer any guarantees on their services? That shows confidence. And did they work with you to develop disaster avoidance and disaster recovery plans?
So not just fixing things, but planning to prevent disasters and recover if they do happen.
That's the goal. It shows they're thinking strategically about protecting your business long term.
Okay, that's a really solid set of questions, a great framework. Now, Kaplan doesn't just leave it there, does he? He offers something more concrete.
No, he doesn't. He actually offers a free network checkup for businesses in his service area, specifically those with 5 to 500 computers.
A free audit. Why does he say he does that?
He frames it as a sort of friendly reminder for busy owners to check on their network's health, and also as a risk-free get-to-know-us offer. No strings attached, apparently.
And what does this free checkup actually involve? What do they look at?
It covers quite a bit, actually, reviewing security settings, checking virus protection status, verifying backups are working.
The stuff we just talked about.
Exactly. Also making sure security patches are up to date, checking hardware specs, looking at basic compliance needs if relevant, and just discussing any other tech problems the business might be having.
Seems like a pretty comprehensive check for free.
Yeah.
What's the underlying message there?
I think it reinforces his main point. Get a clear picture of your network's health. It's about protecting yourself from, hackers, viruses, costly data loss, unexpected hardware failure, all that bad stuff.
Right. And then he hits you with a pretty powerful question, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He asks, what else in your business is more valuable than the data on your network?
That really puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
For so many businesses, especially smaller ones, that data is the business, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Customer lists, financial records, intellectual property, losing that data could be completely devastating. Game over, potentially.
It's a stark reminder. And just to be clear about that free audit offer.
He makes a point of saying explicitly that it's not a bait-and-switch offer or a trick to get you to buy something.
Yeah.
He emphasizes wanting an honest reputation.
Okay, so bringing this all together then, the big takeaway seems to be, well, that looking after your IT infrastructure isn't optional anymore.
Not at all. It's fundamental. Security, reliability. It's crucial for just surviving, let alone succeeding as a small business today.
And asking these kinds of sharp questions, like the ones Kaplan provides, is really the starting point for figuring out if your current IT support is up to scratch or finding a new one that is.
Yeah, it gives you, the business owner, a practical way to gauge things. Are they just fixing immediate fires, or are they truly proactively managing your risks and safeguarding your future?
So maybe as people are listening, they should really take a moment this week, think about their own IT situation, and ask some of these questions.
Definitely. It might feel like one more thing to do, but it could be incredibly important for protecting everything you've built.
It really prompts a final thought, doesn't it? We talk about resilience a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's world, proactive IT management isn't just some tech luxury. It's a core pillar of business resilience.
Absolutely. So the question to leave everyone with is, thinking about your own business, what proactive steps will you actually take, maybe starting today, to safeguard your digital assets? What's your next move?
Something important to mull over. Great insights today. Thanks for digging into this with us. We'll catch you next time on The It Factor.